When I heard that Donde was winning the James Haslam Leadership Award, my first thought was, well, that's a little unusual because she's in higher education and that award usually goes to business leaders. But then I thought more about it. Donde could be a great leader in any type of organization. She's obviously succeeding in higher education, but I wouldn't be surprised to see her as a leader in a Fortune 500 company or being a great governor of a state. She's got the talents to lead in any organization, and we're just fortunate that she chose to apply her talents to us here at the University of Tennessee. One of the challenges that we have in higher education is oftentimes the progression that it takes to become a chancellor usually doesn't teach you about leadership, about managing a multi-billion-dollar organization. Donde's one of those rare individuals that has gone through the academic progression, that has been a professor and a department head and a dean and a provost, and yet at the same time, she has the business acumen to run a multi-billion-dollar organization. Anyone that meets Chancellor Plowman, first thing they'll know is that she's high energy. Nobody that I've ever met that's ever met her doesn't use that as an adjective immediately. She's high energy. She gets things done. She's always thinking boldly. She thinks big ideas and doesn't worry about taking them on. She listens to people and understands them and seeks to understand before she acts. One of the things we believe in within the UT system is the one UT culture, in which we all work together. Through the pandemic, through so many of our challenges, we all work together. It would be easy if you're the chancellor of the flagship campus to say, I don't really need the rest of the campuses. I don't really need to be a part of that. I'm just going to do my own thing. But Donde's always been a team player. She's helped support our other chancellors, and all of them see her as a mentor and a partner and a leader within the system. The UT system comprises of 5 campuses: Knoxville, Chattanooga, Martin, UT Southern, and the UT Health Science Center. We also oversee Oak Ridge National Labs through our partnership with UT Patel. And each chancellor runs their campus. UT Knoxville is ran by Chancellor Plowman. That is our flagship R1 university. It comprises roughly 60% of the entire UT system. So as UT Knoxville goes, so goes the system. And fortunately for us, UT Knoxville is thriving. Not only are we leading the state, but we're also leading the nation. The successes we're having in enrollment, in research, and in so many ways, and it's because of the great leadership of Chancellor Plowman. A lot of people will point to the great success of all of our athletic teams and say that's what's driving the success of UT Knoxville. And that is a part of it. It is the front door of the university. It gets a lot of publicity, but we're thriving in every area. Our colleges of agriculture and engineering and business are all thriving all across the campus. Academically, we're doing incredibly well. Our research is setting records year after year. The partnerships we have with industry, with Oak Ridge National Labs, are also driving that success. And I think students, families, parents all across the country are recognizing the success we're having all across the board. And the key to that success is having great leaders. One of Donde's best attributes is her ability to find and develop and support great leaders. I think I can say fairly that Donde and I are both very ambitious and are constantly looking to grow the university. I might be the one pushing a little bit even harder than maybe I should. Donde's always focused on not only growth, but making sure that we're providing academic excellence in everything we do. That's the incredible amount of accomplishments she's had in the first 7 years as the chancellor. But I think if I were to pick one thing besides the obvious, growing our research, growing our enrollment, growing our retention and our success rates, I think it's just how she's been able to overcome adversity. And there's been lots of challenges over these 7 years, but I'll point to the pandemic. Many universities across the country came to a standstill, and yet at UT Knoxville, we thrived. It was because of her leadership. When you're faced with a challenge, that's when you really determine who are the great leaders and who aren't. And she faced that challenge with exception and did it incredibly well. I think that's a big part of why the University of Tennessee Knoxville is doing so well now. Another example of Donde leading through adversity was when we had some controversy in our athletic department back in our early stages of her tenure on this job. Not only did we come through that well, but we ended up recruiting great new leaders in our athletic department. So we took a problem and turned it into something that we can be very proud of, and we're all very proud of the current leadership that we have all across the athletic department. That's because of her leadership. This will be the greatest decade in the history of the University of Tennessee, and it couldn't possibly be the greatest decade if it wasn't for Chancellor Plowman's leadership.